Hey y'all, this is Norm from Bear Bull Traders. My recap for today, October 25th, 2018. A lot of stocks once again on the watch list and on the gabbers list this morning as the market sold off hard yesterday. AMD reported earnings last night, dropped about 20% at the open. Started coming back. It was a one and done day for me again today. At the open, it just seemed extremely strong. It was never coming close to VWAP. It was not coming close to the 9 moving average. And I had this level at 1878. When it went ahead and broke that, it was, just short of 5 minutes into the open. It looked like it was going to take off. Volume was starting to build down here, as you could see, after the first minute when it's always crazy and volatile. So I went ahead and took the trade. My stop loss was at about 1850 or just under. I took the trade in the 1870s, high 1870s. It didn't fill till 82. It just kind of spiked right there, so it was a few cents off of what I wanted. But nevertheless, I took a little bit of profit after it spiked over 19. Not sure if that whole number would give it any resistance or not, but I wanted to take a little bit of profits because it was so volatile this morning. And then I took my next set of profits all at levels that I already had. So this first one was at this 1828 level right here, and then 1928. And then I had a level at 1947, and you've got the half number at 1950. So I placed a limit order there to sell another quarter of my shares at 1948. Now, my profit target on this, my original profit target was 1964, which was right here at this level that I had from a daily chart. Not only that, and I saw this morning on the 15-minute chart, it was right at the 100 moving average. I thought that 50 moving average. I thought if it had any chance of breaking down on a moving average, it would be that, because of that, not only that level was there, but also the moving average was there. So something, I took off half the remaining shares at that point. Then I put on a range order, so I didn't have to worry about it anymore. Once I took out this first partial, I had already moved my stop loss back to break even. So if it was approaching that, I would have gotten out. I put a range order in for this last portion of my shares up here, just under $20, 1998, I believe, and it would have closed me out in an order at 1882. So this was a stress-free trade for a bunch of reasons, but I want to go over that real quick because risk management has been a hotly discussed topic, and share size, hotly discussed topic in the chat room for the last couple of days. So a lot of people, ask Andrew's share size or how many shares somebody took, and I don't know the reasons behind it. I've never really asked. Sometimes they'll say he took 2,000, 4,000 shares on AMD or this or that, whatever. We aren't Andrew. A lot of us all of us are much newer, and rightly so, trading smaller share sizes. So to calculate risk on your own account, compare it to Andrew, it makes no sense. Obviously, if he trades AMD or MU, that a great move is 20 cents, he's going to take way more shares, because a great move is 20 cents and a bad move against you is 20 cents, as opposed to something like Tesla that he traded yesterday, where that thing can move, it moves 20 cents every single tick, and it can move $10 in a minute. So we're talking about calculating risk. And on this trade, like I mentioned, I got in, my plan entry was right at 1880, and my stop loss was at about 1850. So that's 30 cents of risk. And I had the 2-to-1 because my profit target was 1964. So that was 84 cents of profit, 30-cent risk, well over 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. And so today, for instance, I traded with $100 risk. I've been a little more inconsistent than I'd like to recently, so I've reduced that a tiny bit. But this sheet, and it based on $100 because it's easy to calculate in your head no matter what it is. So this is an easy reminder to keep at your desk. So, I mean, obviously it's rudimentary, it's handwritten, but, you know, I don't always need to look at it, but if there's some, you know, I see immediately I've got 30 cents to the downside, I'm willing to risk $100 today, how many shares can I take? Well, as you can see right there, refer to it, 30 cents of risk, I can take a maximum of 333 shares. Now, I don't know how big your account size is. Could be bigger, could be smaller. You might not be able to take 300 shares of AMD. Maybe you can, maybe, you know, most on AMD could do that, but nevertheless, or maybe you're not that comfortable with it. But that's your maximum. So there's stress-free trade, because I know that if it goes to my stop loss and I get out and I'm gonna hold it, that's the most I'm gonna lose, period. $100. And that's, you know, maybe that's too much for you. Maybe you're willing to risk 10 times that. But everybody's different. Everybody's account is different. And as you know, as far as exits too, setting this range order here, that literally I walked away, got a cup of coffee, and it filled. I knew that I was in the money. I knew that I wasn't going to lose any money on the trade if it went down. Yes, it was spiking up. Maybe I could have gotten another 10 cents. I guess I could have gotten another 17 cents on it. I'm not into calling tops. We can't call tops. That's not going to happen. Just like you don't want to call a bottom and try to catch a knife and get risky that way. So anyway, I just wanted to go over those two things. It can really help make your trading stress-free. If you have a plan like that, you predefine your risk as opposed to trying to define a profit target and how many shares you take based on that, because your risk is uncalculated and unknown at that point. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful. Any feedback or questions you have, happy to answer. Take care.